friends! I'm back! Oh my good God. I have missed you guys so much. So much. You have no idea, like, the pain and suffering I have gone. I'm being way too dramatic. We're doing a get ready with me. Hi! I feel like you guys have no idea how much I've missed you and how much it's like I've missed you guys so much. I'm just gonna explain kind of what happened to me real quick, and then we're gonna talk about some other like random thing. I actually, if you follow me on Snapchat or Twitter, or Instagram, I guess I posted on there a little bit too, but I mostly post on Twitter to communicate with you guys when stuff happens, or to like ask your guys' opinions on things, or to just like talk to you guys. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I have it linked down below. I think it's glow__ smoky. I think that's it. But I was in Florida for the past week. Actually 9 days total I was traveling. We actually decided to drive to Florida from New York, upstate New York. It is a 24, I think it's 19 hours. I'm being dramatic. So yeah, I was driving for 2 days down there. The first day I was driving, I actually was able to make that Logan Paul video, which was nice that I got to do that. I don't even know what foundations I have anymore. I'm going to use my Wet n Wild's Photo Focus foundation. I have not used this in a very long time, so we're just going to see how she turns out. But anyway, so that first night I was driving and we stopped at a hotel for the night because it's a 2-day trip. I made that Logan Paul video, which I'm glad I was able to make. And I had pre-filmed one video. I actually brought my entire setup, like my ring light, everything with me to Florida because I planned, does anyone else when they have a big zit put the foundation like directly on top of the zit, just praying it will make everything better. I brought my whole setup because I was planning on filming while I was down here. Because my boyfriend and I, like, when we're on vacation, like, we went to Disney and we, like to do fun, exciting things. But we also like to, like, relax. Like, I don't really feel a pressure just because I'm in a different place to do anything, like, outrageously different than what I would be doing at home. So I look like I have a disease. So I knew we were going to have a lot of, like, downtime. Turns out we didn't. So the first 2 days were fantastic. If you're in Orlando, you probably know that the drive to any beach is actually pretty far. Like, even though you're in Florida, you're like an hour away from like Cocoa Beach or any other beaches. So we didn't want to have to go out of the way. And Daytona Beach was on the way, basically, from Jacksonville to Orlando. So we stopped there, and it was actually really nice because it was freezing cold. It wasn't freezing cold, but we're from New York. Like, I'm used to like it was negative 23 with wind chill while I was in Florida. So, but down there it was like 40. So for them, that's absolutely ridiculously cold. Everyone kept asking us if we wanted like hot cocoa to like warm up, and we were like, no. So really nobody was at this beach, which was kind of dope. We actually got like most of Daytona Beach to ourselves. And we like took pictures and we walked along the beach for a while. It was just like a really nice day, like for us. And then we kind of just chilled the rest of the day once we got to our hotel. This foundation is horrible. Am I just not blending it right? What the literal fuck? That's a little better. This is not a good foundation. Remember whenever I loved this? I used to love this. This used to be my holy grail. Did it always look like this? Oh my, don't you love that when you use old products and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, and then the next day we kind of chilled all day, and then we went to we slept in and just like hung out, and then we went to the Orlando Art Museum, which was really, really, really fun and exciting. We love to go to art museums and zoos. Those are kind of our two big ones. So we went to the Orlando Art Museum, and we just kind of like got dinner, hung out. I feel like those were the really chill days. And then the next day we were going to Disney. Let's just use products we haven't used in a long time. Let's play that game. Let's see how awful. I don't have anywhere to go. Let's just get ready for this video. Let's see how my face turns out. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Concealer from like a year and a half ago, I think, from their Christmas collection last year. This is probably like has gone bad. We'll see. Before you guys leave comments, remember that it's my face, so if I want to put expired products on it, I'm going to. So the next day we went to Disney, and I love Disney. probably more than anything on the planet. The foundation, the concealer is darker than my foundation, so this is going well. I just, something about Disney, I'm not even like obsessed with like Disney movies or like the characters, just something about being at Disney. I never get anxiety when I'm there. I'm always, and I get anxiety everywhere, so I'm always like super happy and super excited and super like everything's great when I'm at Disney. Like I love being at Disney. And I don't get to go a lot because I live in New York and there's no Disney in New York, unfortunately. So whenever I'm in Orlando, I like to go. And that was really fun. But we were at Disney and my boyfriend Charles, all of a sudden, he had a really awful pain in his foot. I have not used my Laura Mercier powder in a very long time. Isn't that crazy? This was like my holy grail forever ago. So when his leg started hurting, I was like, well, we're both pretty out of shape. Like, my limbs are hurting too from all the walking. Because if you've never been to Disney, you walk, like, so much. Like, the song 500 Miles, the words like, I would walk 5. I'm pretty sure that was written at Disney. Because you just walk so much. So we kind of, like, took a break and, like, he rested his leg. But it wasn't getting any better. It was actually getting a lot worse. And so he was kind of like, I don't know why I'm in this much pain. Like, this isn't just like me being out of shape. This is like, I'm in actual pain. Like, I can't walk. He was like limping and stuff. A little bit about my boyfriend. So the reason he wears leg braces, he has a peripheral neuropathy, which if you don't know what that is, it means that the nerves in his feet don't work. It's like a form of MS and MD combined in like a weird, so very, very rare disease, like incredibly rare. So his feet don't, they only go down. He's like a foot drop. So his feet, he can't lift them up. They can only go down. So he wears the leg braces to help his feet stay upright instead of just flopping down like this. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm getting a little doctor lesson from me. So because of that, he takes a lot of medication. Some of the medication he's taking makes him immunocompromised, which means that he is if he gets a disease, like if he gets the flu, his immune system is going to make it, like he can't fight it, basically. That was a lot of explaining. But because of that, we're very cautious if he gets sick or if something happens. Like, we're very, very cautious about it simply because, I don't know, you just never know. Like, you just got to be, he's normally completely fine. His disability doesn't affect his daily life in pretty much any way. Unless stuff like this happens. Other than this, like, it doesn't really affect him at all. We were supposed to go to the San Diego Zoo the next day, the day after Disney, and then we were going to do Disney, San Diego Zoo, Disney, because we had 2 tickets to Disney. And the zoo was, like, his thing, because, like I said, we like to go to zoos a lot, but that's, like, more, he got me into that. Like, I didn't used to like going to zoos until I met him, and now that's, like, something we do together. And Disney was kind of, like, my thing. Like, he could care less if we went to Disney. I love Disney. And he really didn't feel good. So we were like, he said, I was all still down to like push him around a zoo. Like, I was ready to get him a wheelchair and just like push us through it. Cause I thought he just like pulled a muscle or something, but he was like, no, like, why don't we cancel the zoo? Cause Disney tickets are so much more expensive. I don't want to waste the tickets. Like, let's just rest today and then we'll go to Disney tomorrow. And I was like, okay, but I could tell he was really bummed because he kind of felt, we don't feel pressure to do things, but I feel like he felt he was like wasting the vacation. So I looked around Florida to see what there was to do that wouldn't require so much walking, because most of Florida is just like, because it's so many like theme parks, it is just walking. And I actually found that there was a Medieval Times, which I haven't been to since, if you don't know what that is, like, you sit in like an arena and they like the knights actually joust in front of you and do all this crazy stuff. And I thought he would really like that, so I like sneak bought us tickets and I surprised him with that, and we went to that, and that's all just sitting, so he was pretty fine, but I could tell he was really struggling. He has a pretty high pain tolerance. I could tell that he wasn't like doing okay, like, because he was physically showing that he was in so much pain. I was like, he's not okay. So later that night, he ended up getting a fever. I think 102 was the highest. So we went to the emergency room in Orlando. I really like Orlando. I actually hate your emergency rooms because we went in and they were like, it's a 9-hour wait in the ER. 9 hours, which is ridiculous. Like, that's so insane to me that it's a 9-hour wait. Actually a day of me using things I never use. This is a Makeup Revolution bronzer I haven't used in forever. So it's not their fault, but it's still annoying when he kind of was like, and it didn't help because we got there and he was like, do I just have a strain? Like, just tell me, like, do you think I should even bother staying? And the girl was like, well, you could have a blood clot. So we waited there for about an hour, but then as I did the math, because at this point it was like midnight or something. This is not super blended. At this point it was like midnight or something. And I kind of did the math and I was like, listen, if we just wake up at like 6 a.m. tomorrow, we'll get seen and go to an urgent care. We'll get seen sooner than we would be getting seen at this hospital. So we left, which we've never done. We never leave hospitals, but we left. And we went back to the hotel. We slept for a couple hours. So we went to the emergency room in Orlando, and it was just like not the best, you could tell. We missed our day at Disney, our second day, to go to the emergency room. And they basically told him he had a sprain, but we both knew. They didn't even touch his foot. Like, they didn't even, I don't know if it was just this ER that was not great, but like they were not great. They didn't even like look at his foot or touch it or anything. They just did an x-ray and ruled out that it was an infection and then like sent us on our way. So we left the next day to come home and we made an appointment at his doctor. He's there right now, actually. And they're testing him now. Our doctor is like really, really great in Rochester. Like, we both go to the same doctor. Like, do you guys like your doctors? We love our doctor. Like, our doctor takes such good care of us. But the whole drive home, it was awful because we had to stop every like hour so we could stand up because there was still the concern of the blood clot, and it was just like a mess. So I have not posted any videos because my boyfriend was in the hospital and our trip was kind of crazy, and it was just like, it just wasn't gonna happen. So while I was on my break, it seems the internet just like exploded. A lot of things have been happening. So let me just give you my thoughts. I'm going to do, this is going to be called Abridged Thoughts because I only have about 20 minutes left of doing my makeup to talk about this. So let's start, where do we want to start? Oh, it just feels so annoying. Everything, remember when YouTube was so just like silly and fun and like everything was fine? So the Shane Dawson thing. Here we go. Let's start with that. And then I'll talk about John Kuckian. I really didn't want to talk about John Kuckian, but I feel like there are some things that were not said. Normally I wouldn't just like rehash old tea, but I truly feel there were things that were not said by the people I watched. Not that they like missed it and I'm like better. It's just like things I thought of that they probably didn't think of. So here we go. So Shane Dawson. For those of you that might not know, because he isn't a beauty community member, and normally that's who I talk about. I guess I talked about Logan Paul, but who actually low-key maybe ties into this. I don't really know if I believe that Logan Paul is a part of this whole thing. Let's just talk about it. So, an account made a video basically saying that Shane Dawson is a pedophile. And here's why. And showed actual, like, it was actually bullshit. Like, it was edited audio clips of him saying some kind of creepy jokes that obviously, like, the jokes weren't funny. They were creepy. He did sound creepy in them. But then when you listen to the full recording, it's not creepy at all. Like, nothing about it was creepy. It was just him making a kind of inappropriate joke. Was it inappropriate? Like, 100%. But was it also, like, 5 years ago? 100%. And I know I might get some shit for saying this, because I know when Manny MUA said this, I'm not excusing racism as, like, that was ever funny. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying pedophile jokes were ever funny or anything like that. What I am saying is that there was a time, if you watch, like, old episodes of, like, cartoon shows or old episodes of anything, basically, you're going to see a very drastic difference in what was, even like, does anyone remember? This is a perfect example. Does anyone remember when that Bon Qui thing was huge? Her name was like Angelica something. She was a comedian, and she was on Comedy Central with like, I think, what was the guy's name? It's some guy who's still really famous, but she was a comedian, and she did a sketch on Comedy Central that got so, let me see how many views it has on YouTube. I actually looked it up the other day because my boyfriend had never heard of it, and I was like, oh my god, when I was like 7, this was the funniest thing to me. Like, me and my cousins thought this was so funny. When I was 7, mind you, like I was an actual child. 74 million views. So it was viral for the time, especially. And I watched it again though, because I was watching it with my boyfriend. It's like watching it, and I was like, this is so, I guess I don't want to say I was like ignorant, but I was how many years ago did that come out? Like, how old was I actually? 10 years ago? So I was 12. So like, before you maybe think I'm a racist, just remember I was 12 at the time, probably 11 to be quite honest. But I was watching it again as an adult, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is so racist, like incredibly offensive, but this has so many positive comments. Everyone thinks it's so funny and hysterical and like great. Interesting. Sorry, I'm using a new product. I'm going to do a full review on this. I actually got sent this in PR. Your girl got PR. I got 2 things in PR the past 2 days, and it's actually from Octoly, so I don't know if you can call it PR, but I'm going to call it PR, because I've wanted PR my entire life. So I actually got the Sorcels Styler from Lancome, and I also got a brow bar to go from Gerard Cosmetics, and I'm going to do a full review because when I get all the things, because I actually have 3 more things coming from Octoly. And I'm going to do like a full face first impressions and use the products for a couple of days, give you guys like an honest full review on that. I talked about this on Twitter and I did a poll. Everyone seemed to be okay with me doing Octoly. Okay, anyway. So, things that used to, where was I? Okay. Things that used to be not, people were more ignorant, basically. It's not even that people were like less sensitive, or it wasn't. People were just more ignorant to the racism and the blatant like awfulness that was going on. And I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying that's how it was. People were a lot more ignorant. And now we're in a new era kind of being a lot more woke. And I think Shane Dawson himself, because I used to watch him when he was doing like blackface. Like, I remember that whole thing. And like, I was a kid again watching him. And he, as a content creator, has just grown so much and like taken in what people have said and where he's been criticized and where he can do better, and he's taken that seriously, I think. So for somebody to make a video doctoring footage, making it seem like he's this child predator when that's just like not the case in the slightest, it's just so frustrating. And the reason I'm frustrated is not the people on YouTube. So I'm not annoyed because of YouTube, because anyone who follows anything like this now knows, they've watched videos like mine saying like, this isn't true, this is a lie. What I'm mad about is the fact that now people who just know Shane Dawson is like that guy on YouTube who wouldn't do more research into those claims because Twitter decided to do a story, and I'm really mad about this. I'm really angry. So because Twitter decided to do a story and the press picked it up, like online media picked it up, I'm pretty sure I saw something on Snapchat about it too, on like one of their outlets. Because they all decided to pick this up and not do any research into it, just said, oh, it's so scandalous, Shane Dawson's a pedophile. Now people who don't watch YouTube, who don't know that this was all bullshit, who don't know that the account after the fact like went insane and claimed it was all conspiracy theory, and it was ultimately, I think what I've determined from it is that it was just like an internet troll, like somebody who just wanted to like create their own conspiracy theory. That's pretty much my theory on it. I think that's a pretty common theory about it. What makes me mad is that those people, like people who don't watch YouTube regularly and don't know about all this, are now going to associate him with being a pedophile because of a joke, because of like a meme. And something about that is just so wrong, so ugly. Like, it kind of comes back, and I guess this segues really nicely into the whole Peter Ma and John Kuckian thing. So John Kuckian released a new video. Let's do something really simple. Let's just keep it simple with the eyes today. So while I was on vacation, John Kuckian made another video about Peter Ma. Said he had screenshots. Said it was like all this. Said read emails from people who allegedly are saying Peter Ma assaulted them as children. Here's the problem. I'm going to say this right now, and I might get a little bit of heat for it, but you came here for my thoughts. Hello, these are my thoughts. If there is, I'm going to put the makeup down just for a second, because this feels serious. If there is any ring of truth to what John is saying, I feel incredibly terrible for anyone who was affected by it, because they unfortunately have the wrong person sharing their story. Mind you, I don't think any of this, my personal opinion, I don't think any of this is true. I think it is completely false. But if the like 0.2% chance that this could be true, I feel so bad for anyone that happened to, because here's why. John Kuckian has proved time and time again that he is a liar, and that he lies about things, and that he is not a trustworthy person, and that he's made things up, and he's doctored things, and he never, ever, ever takes responsibility for anything he does. And he's just not a good person. And so even if what he's saying has a ring of truth to it, which again, I don't think it does, but even if it did, I can't believe you. Like, I can't believe you. I can't. I'm sorry. Like, I can't believe you over a person who, from where I sit, has never lied to me, has never made things up, has owned up when he's made mistakes. Like, Peter Ma has never done anything to show that he is not trustworthy. Trust is such a crucial thing. And something I think people don't realize, especially people on the internet who see all of this as like, whatever. Once you lose trust, once you get like caught in a big lie like he has, I just can't trust you again. And I think a lot of people feel that way. He did do a great job of putting that small iota of doubt into people, because I even had subscribers messaging me and commenting saying like, well, now I have doubts about Peter. Like, what it made me second guess everything, which is what the video was supposed to do. He didn't really do anything different in this video. He really just regurgitated the same stuff he said in the video he already had. All he wanted to do with this video is continue to back up what he's saying, so maybe one more person will join his side. So yeah, I don't know. I can't trust someone. That's cute. I can't trust someone who has not once, not twice, but multiple times proved to me that he's not a trustworthy person. Like, I'm sorry. I just can't do that. I can't. I have to go with Peter on this one. So, what was I saying? I truly think at this point, I think John Kuckian saw that this worked 3 times before in ruining the people he didn't like. He did it to Sanders. Sanders lost a bunch of subscribers. He did it to Here for the Tea. She deleted all of her accounts. Thomas Halbert. like, he's done this multiple times before and has seen how effective it is. So he did it this time expecting it to be just as effective as all the other times he did it, as far as accusing someone of being a child predator, and it didn't work this time. People said enough is enough with your bullshit, and it didn't work. So now, he's just trying to basically save his ass. It's not working this time, and he's panicking, and he's trying to do all these, like, crazy things, making all these crazy videos, and, like, he's completely stopped posting on Twitter because he can't moderate the comments there. He made this weird Instagram post hinting he would have to be giving a lot of stuff up in 2018, hinting at getting rid of his YouTube channel. Like, at this point, I'm not even, like, worried anymore because so many people have done such an amazing job covering this situation. I'm going to use my Rainforest of the Sea for an inner corner highlight because this palette is amazing for that. So many people don't believe him, don't believe a word he says. The people that do, I've given up on. Because you can only do so much in this world, and people that still want to, like, believe in him and support him, your choice. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes legally. Peter Mon has pretty openly said he's pressing charges at this point. So now it's kind of just a waiting game. I'm sure John's going to keep making videos about this. The reason I didn't do a whole my thoughts dedicated to this is just because I don't feel like any new information was presented here. I feel like he just regurgitated. One more thing. I just got re-angry because I just remembered something. I didn't write notes for this video or anything. I didn't really want to. I just kind of wanted to, like, talk and do something more casual. I didn't want to do, like, the past couple ones I've done, I've, like, written notes beforehand. This one I kind of just wanted to get in front of a camera and talk. But I just remembered something that pissed me off so much. While he was reading those messages, boy deserves an Oscar for the tearing up and the getting so emotional. I just don't buy it. Anyone that knows me in the real world knows that I am so much for, like, the Me Too movement, the Time's Up movement. I've given money, I've given support, because I've been affected by it. And I know how awful it is to go through something like sexual assault or sexual harassment or something like that. I know how awful that is and how life-ruining that can be. Like, personally, I know. So for John Kuckian to get in front of his little camera and sit there and read a message that we're pretty sure is fake based on the evidence of, like, the pictures and everything makes me very angry that he's gonna sit there and fake cry. His crocodile tears, fake crying, saying how mortifying this was for him when there are people who have horrible things done to them and that are real and are strong enough to keep going and, like, not ruin. I don't know. Everything about that, the whole playing the victim thing and playing on the fact that people are being, like, super awesome towards victims right now for the first time ever in history, playing on that and trying to get sympathy because of that, it just is so disgusting. I'm smiling because I'm so angry. Wow, I just got, like, instantly angry. That's the thing about this kid. He just makes you so goddamn angry. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm more mad because I have to sit here and say that somebody is lying about something like that. I don't like that I have to sit here and be like, well, he's lying about being sexually, what did he say? Harassed. He's lying about being sexually harassed. I don't like that I have to sit here and say that shit. I never want to sit here and invalidate somebody's feelings and invalidate somebody's experience. Like, I never want to sit here and fucking do that, but he's making me fucking do that because he's probably lying. And it makes me so frustrated and so angry because people need our support right now. There's such a bigger issue here than just John Kuckian versus Peter Mon, Shane Dawson versus this random account that's probably lying and maybe it's a conspiracy. The bigger problem here is that they are invalidating every single person who has ever experienced assault. They are invalidating every single child who has ever been molested. They are invalidating everyone's stories. They are taking YouTube 17 years back because now we have to tell, is John Kuckian lying? Is he telling the truth? It's now not even like a, it just makes me so angry that in the real world, we've come so far and we're doing all these amazing things with Time's Up and people are finally seeing the true fact that these YouTubers are coming on here and trying to turn that into a meme when we're finally being taken seriously. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, I got lipstick on my hand. I feel like I just blacked out. Like, my brush ended up on the ground. I got lipstick on my hand. It just makes me very angry. The bigger issues are more what make me angry as opposed to I'm not this mad because John Kuckian's a prick, because he is. Like, sorry. I'm this mad because so many people have dealt with sexual assault. So many people have dealt with being molested as kids. And so many people have had to put up with that shit. And these people are just making it a big fucking joke. And that's not okay. That's wrong. It's incredibly wrong. It's incredibly disgusting. I hate it. I hate everything about it. Okay. This Get Ready With Me started out so cute and sweet. And then it just turned into like yelling. All right. I think that's going to be my video for today. I've missed you guys so much. I'm going to be back to posting Monday through Friday, and then I'm going to take the weekends off. That's my current scheduling, uploading a plan. Maybe do surprise videos on the weekend if I get bored, but we'll see. Yeah, I love you guys very much, and I will talk to you later. Bye!